Welcome back. Now to our final interview for this morning. We're discussing media handling of insecurity in Nigeria. We're still discussing insecurity, we're discussing terrorism, discussing banditry. Now we are looking at it from a media perspective this morning. And with me he's a broadcaster and a public analyst, Treasure Simi Dari. Good morning, Mr. Dari.
Yeah, good morning, and thanks for having me.
All right. So we're discussing media handling. How does the media handle? How do you think the media so far is handling the announcements and reoccurrences of insecurity and kidnaps and terrorism in Nigeria?
Okay, so well, I don't know where to start from, but of course, me and you know that media in Nigeria, the conventional media, the social media, and all of that, I would say they are not really doing, a thorough job on the reportage of whatever is happening concerning insecurity in our nation. Just yesterday night, one of the platforms that I belong to, my community platform, I saw a video that I have seen like 3 years, I mean 3 months ago. You know, circulating again. Somebody posted it and said that's happened in Lokoja in Kogi State, and I was wondering because I saw that video about 3 months ago, and it didn't happen in Lokoja. So I would say that social media has taken a negative toll on the report that we get uh, concerning the conventional media also that TV, radio, and all of that are also give a report. There's no balanced report in whatever is happening concerning insecurity in the country. Sometimes you hear people defending what the government is doing and people going against them. There's this, back and forth on the issue of insecurity. But the truth about it is that things are happening, and the politicians are trying to hide, suppress the reportage from not being correct. I mean, an accurate, reporting of exactly what is happening, both in the north central, in the middle belt, and northeast, and all of those, areas that what is happening. We're not getting the accurate information because some of the information are being kept aside. Some of them are being, sometimes even things that happen in Nigeria, you get to hear it on the foreign media. That's why you get to hear the true story in foreign media, and you begin to wonder why our media is not reporting exactly what is happening. So I would say, as a media person, that the way the media has handled security report in Nigeria is not good at all. I must be very honest; it's not good at all. Until we're able to curb this issue of people just issues trending, videos being forwarded, and then giving the caption. Because now everybody's a media person. Because once you forward any message now, you become an influencer on social media, you become a media person. Not those of us who have been trained to do all of this job. Just like you and I, we have been trained. But what we get now is have report, have truth of exactly what is happening in the country concerning security.
So seeing that we have a whole lot of half truths that that are being spread, or maybe like you mentioned earlier, the circulation of an old video. How do you think we should, as an established media bodies and journalists, how do you think we can help curb the spread of all these half truths, false informations, fake news that are circulating in the media these days?
Yes, what we can do is I mean, immediately I saw that video yesterday, I had to quickly come out to say, no, this video is not is not correct. Because if you keep quiet, if we keep quiet as media practitioners, we see half truth being spread all around, and we don't talk, we don't speak against it, we don't talk about it, it becomes an issue. You understand? So, but for me, I had to quickly debunk and say, no, this is not true. This has been in circulation for like 3 months, and it didn't happen in Lokoja. So many of us that are, core media practitioners, were in the system, radio, TV, online, I mean, print, and all of that. Once we see any report that is not true, we need to come out and openly debunk them so that people will know that this is not true. Because people just get information on their phone. the group they belong to, and then they don't even wait to verify. They just forward. And what I always do is I pick up those messages and I go get facts and I debunk them on any platform that I find myself. That's what I do. And when I do that, people say, "Oh, thank you so much. I believe you because it's coming from you." And sometimes many of these, national media houses have not carried the story, and you are beginning to spread the story. You're spreading the story up and down because you just really want to show people see that you are forwarding messages and all of that. They want people to see you as being current. You have not verified the messages, not verified the report, not verified the news story that is circulated around. Once we practitioners can do that, I think it's going to help people. Like I always tell people, don't forward anything you don't author. Don't forward anything you don't verify. If you do that, you're then you can be accused of of carrying fake news, and that is it's not a good thing. So many of us who are media practitioners should be able to rise up to this particular trend now and help people debunk fake news. Once you are not sure, don't forward. Once you are not sure, don't post. Once you are not sure, don't also refer, because once you get people who don't even care, just forwarding, just to be seen as if they are forwarding. I mean, they are very quick, or they tend to know what's happening in the country, and that's one thing that we need to do. But a lot of things are happening there. You have colleagues that okay, for instance, if there's a story that emanated from Jos Plateau State, I'm sure you also have somebody over there you can easily call. This is what I get. I got. What's happening over there? Can you please confirm this story before you make a post on that? That's in doing that, it's going to help us to debunk some of these half fake news trending about concerning it. Because when people see that, it begin to create panic among people. Now that video of yesterday, I say, the people were praising the government, not knowing that it actually did not happen in Lokoja. It didn't happen in Kogi State. The ones that happened in Kogi State, someone was on ground and he posted a video. He recorded himself. He's not a media person, but he did that and then forwarded. So this is what I got. I am right there. I'm here at the scene of the incident. So those are the kind of things we should be able to stand and speak against. If you don't do that, the way fake news is trending, the way fake news will get a hold of people, I'm sure those things may actually cause panic. If you remember what happened during the Lagos the Kenya cantonment bomb explosion and all of that, I mean that made people to start leaving their place without even verifying what has happened. Some of those kind of news are things that are happening these days. Yes, there are killings, but let's verify those killings before we begin to post videos, or we begin to send messages across. And because if people are not secure, and then you are sending messages of panic again, you're causing more damage, double damage to people. So that's what I think we should do as media practitioners. We should be able to debunk some of these things that we know are not true. But if you keep quiet, of course, people will believe what has been said as true.
Now, how does the media shape government response processes? The media is supposed to affect. We've heard in recent times, we've heard stories. The media has been broadcasting. We've been speaking. We've been talking. How do you think this should shape government processes, policies, protests? And so far, do you think it has, to any extent, affected any change in how the government is handling the insecurity cases in Nigeria?
Nigeria has become a place where before you talk, you have to be very careful the things you say, so that they will not pick you up that you're speaking against the government. That's what people do. Our democracy. The question is really democracy we are practicing in Nigeria? Because it's a situation where this thing happened, and because you want to paint it, you don't want people to get to understand what has happened. You paint it to favor the government. You paint it to make it look as if the government is doing something. For instance, there are questions to be asked about the abduction of those girls in Kebbi State. You need to ask questions. For instance, who gave the information or who gave the command or the order that the military men should vacate that school? And we were told that they left, and after 45 minutes, that incident happened. They came to kidnap and even shot the vice principal, so. Now look at those kind of things that happen. And then people will be those people. But somebody will go and start defending the government because they have gotten back the girls now. You're putting aside what actually transpired and happened. And if you don't get this fact out, someone gave that order. Who is that person? Is the person that approved the law? Those are things we need to put together and understand. So many times, we look at media information. because we don't want the government to be, to be angry with our media, especially the private media practitioners. Because if you look at the government, of course, the government own practitioner media houses, we always defend the government. We always see things that will really go with the government. But the things we see, in private practice, we must be able to speak out. I remember those days where people were fearless. People will speak the truth into power, and they can get arrested, they can get prosecuted, and all of that. But these days, what we do is to just paint things as if they don't even actually happen. Because you want to be in the good book of government. People get to employ media, people who are not experienced media practitioners as commissioner of information, as SC on media, and then you begin to bring out things just to begin to hype the political office holders to make sure that to make them look as if what they're doing is good. But you know that what they are doing is not good. They are not. They are part of the problem, because information kept behind. When you don't release information, when you don't tell the things you know, when you paint them as if they are true, you cause a whole lot of problem. So for me, media handling of insecurity in the country is not. We're not up to the game. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. We're not giving that information. We're not. For instance, the media officer that was shot there, you can understand how the blood information got into the hands of those the bandit that actually caught up with the guy and then murdered him because of this forwarding of messages that they're not supposed to do. So those are things. Now somebody did that. I was able to give information to those bandits to do those.
Mr. Dari, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Things that we must understand.
I think he's having some.
That's what I want to say.
All right, go ahead. And please, could you position your phone? Your hands seem to be, your face is shaking. So if you can, steady your phone so we can see you properly, sir. Can you hear me? All right, we'll go for a short break. We'll be right back.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on e-vibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
So I should try harder. So
okay, I don't know that one.
Outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that. That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's a Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on e-vibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
With a population of about 36 million people, the Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges, completed and uncompleted projects, bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Welcome back. So we are discussing media handling of insecurity in Nigeria. Our guest is joining us back. Mr. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Mr. Dari.
I can hear you clearly.
All right, go ahead. You were speaking on, the effect of media on government.
Yes, so that's what I was trying to say before. These are the things we keep talking about. Network also is the matter of is an insecurity on the media also. You know, when you're doing something that you can't get, good. Anyway, so like I was saying, when we don't speak the truth to power, when we try to manage, the things that happen. For instance, you see a lot of government spokesmen are not actually qualified to handle this position. You leave qualified men and then you pick someone who just want to just. I call them the political hype men. That's what I call them, the political hype men, because they're just hyping the government. They're just talking about just to be in the good book of the government. You see what is wrong and you're not speaking out. You're not saying it. And then how do we move on? How do we do what is right in the country? How do security become in? Look at everywhere now. People are even scared of traveling. This is Christmas period. People are really not willing to travel to risk their life because of these bandits and kidnappers everywhere. So we must be able to speak out. Let the government employ professionals, not just hype men, not just those that will speak in favor of the government. If the government is not doing well in some area, we should speak out. We will speak out, we call them to order. But this kind of government that we run in this country today, it's difficult to be able to speak the truth. Even when you see some press releases, you just wonder, is this signed by a media professional or what? A lot of press releases that people just bring out now these days is trash. It's trash. So we need to really go back, to having experienced and professionals handle the media arm of any government. For instance, a Minister of Information should be a thoroughbred, media person who understand the workings. Just like that, even the state government also and the local government area. But this they have people who don't even understand what media is all about. Just answering media aid, SEO media, social advisor of media and publicity, and those don't even understand the role they are handling. So when you have people, quacks, who don't understand this role, you bring out information that are not correct, information that can even cause panic, to the entire populace. So I believe that we should be able to go back to our drawing board, because the way and manner this insecurity is operating around the country is becoming something else. So we pray that, like we always do, that God's going to give the president and the governors of wisdom to be able to tackle all of this, serious menace ravaging the country.
Now, we've discussed the effect media ought to have on government's implementation and processes. Would you say there is, in the view of what you just said, that there is an absolute press freedom in Nigeria? And can you put us through some NBC regulations that, hinders this freedom? As much as we want to say everything as it is, do you think that we are experiencing absolute press freedom that is separate from the government?
Of course we are not. Of course we are not. We're not expressing press freedom. I just admitted to you that, sometimes because of the kind of people that handle such, offices to the political office holders, so what do you expect? When you're not qualified to speak, you wouldn't even understand the things you're supposed to say or not to say. I'm talking about NBC code, of course, on politics and all of that. When you have people, thorough people who understand all of these things, as a matter of fact, many media people have not even seen the NBC code. They don't even understand what the code is. What the code is all about. You don't have not that. A lot of people are not saying it. And yet they came to the media men. Now, if you don't understand the rules of engagement concerning the industry that you are, how do you do things how do you give the information to that is correct to the populace? So many media houses, whether public, whether private, should be able to keep training their staff, keep training those that speak on radio, speak on television, write, for the print media, to really understand the things to say and what not to say. I'm one man that I'm not afraid to speak truth to power, because where you understand that you are not doing what is right, you need to speak out. I don't believe in hyping people who are not doing anything. I don't believe in just hyping, just talking about someone who doesn't understand what he or she is doing. And then you keep talking to people, and then after 4 years, you come back, you want to repeat the same cycle. So for me, NBC also should conduct regular training for media practitioners. Because if you are regulating and people don't even understand what you're doing, they don't get to know all of these laws, bylaws. Let's say just sanction this station for saying this, for doing that. When you don't have thoroughbred practitioners in the industry, you equally don't have thoroughbred practitioners in the regulatory industry, then what do you do? There's going to be a problem. So I'm recommending that the regulators, which is the NBC now, should be able to put together several trainings in all the zonal offices, several trainings for media practitioners, educate them, teach them what to do, how to do their job, how to report, not to bend things, not to cover up things. So now you hear that you go for a press conference and then the people speak, and the way you report it in your station is just people who do things that favors the government or favors whoever is speaking. You don't say the thing the way it's supposed to be. And that's why our media in Nigeria is not meeting up. And that is the truth. So for me, I will always say that the regulators should organize more training. And for also private stations, public stations also, organize training for your staff. Let them understand, what to do and what not to do. There's a lot of questions you ask when you're interviewing someone. They're not supposed to ask, but because they don't know. So all of these things are things that we need to look at very critically. And in the coming year, in the new year that's coming, they should start planning, put in their budget. Let the National Assembly, also be aware of all of these things. That we need to train more people in the industry. We need to train more people in how to handle report of insecurity, how to handle report. Like when you go to social media, you see the kind of things that you're not supposed to even see there. People just do some things without even investigating. And at the end of the day, you create more problem for the populace than even try to help them to get all this information.
Okay. Lastly, before we round up the conversation, speaking of propagation of information, news, fake, half-truths, and what have you, let's talk about deep fakes, graphic contents, AI-generated videos, and all of that. How deep do you think it has gone to, destroy, if I do say so, the authenticity of the spread of information in Nigeria?
I think if you want to talk about AI, we'll use maybe a whole day to talk about that. The effect of AI on media. For me as a person, I actually want to discuss, because I'm trying to register now that to do with the use of AI in media. I think that's sometime around January. I'm going to get into that training because I want to know. But I'm most petty with AI now. Anything can happen. Even what you interviewing me now, what you did not ask me, they can put you that you asked me. I'm sure you know that. What I didn't say can be said that I said it through the AI. But like I said, training will help a lot of us do our job well. Training will help us, a lot of us, differentiate between an AI generated broadcast and then the normal broadcast. Like what we're doing now, it can be turned around, and what we didn't say can be said, I will say it. But for me, once I see, because I'm a trained person, when I see what is not correct, I know this is AI generated, I know this is not correct and all of that. So it's talk about training. It's talk about training. We must train our media people to understand. And if you're not careful, this AI that has been introduced, I hope it does not destroy the media completely. I hope it does not take away the truth about the secret of our industry. I'm afraid. But of course, it's also a good thing. We're advancing in technology and all of that. But we should be careful with this AI thing, because a lot of things are happening. You see a video that would trend on national television, and then the next thing you hear that it was AI. It was it was AI, the video was doctored and all of that. You don't even know the one you're going to believe anymore. So these are my fears. But I know that we can get along if people are properly trained, in doing their job as a media practitioner.
Now, before we, in 30 seconds, 5 seconds, what do you think is the future of media, in Nigeria in the coming years with what we have now?
and like I said earlier on, everybody's a media practitioner now. Everybody's a social media influencer. Once you have a Facebook page and then you have followers up to 1,000, you have become an influencer. And then anything you post on your page, people tend to believe or to react or to comment whether it's true or it's not true. And that's what that's what we must look at. You can't be a media person without being trained. I'm sure what you're doing now, you were trained to do that. Am I right? You were trained. You have gone to one training school or the other to do what you do. But people are not trained just because you can use AI. They just go there and but so the future of media in Nigeria is still very, of course, those of us who do real media work, those of us who were trained, those of us who started from the beginning, who started well, and we're still looking for information, we're still trying to get trained despite what we already have the experience. For people like us now, I am trained in the radio, radio, talking about electronic media, talking about radio and TV, also the print media. So it's someone that has gone through the whole thing. The way I will practice my this thing is different from somebody who just started doing something like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I see a bright future but like I said, we must continue to be trained, get training for people who are in this industry, so that they will do the job without making errors and mistakes that will keep giving issues to the station that you work for. If you go and do something now against the government, you're private, and maybe you're a private practitioner in your state, the government can just decide and just seal up your media house because it's you feel that you are against him or her. But if you do your job thoroughly, I'm sure nobody can come to shut you up and say don't talk again or don't say this again. So we keep training, regulation, bring out the laws, everyone understand what is supposed not to do, and if you put all those laws in practice, everybody will be careful not to do what is wrong. That's my advice.
All right, thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Treasure Timi Dare. It was a pleasure having you with me this morning. Thank you. Have a nice day.
And thank you to everyone. Thank you so much.
All right. Now that's our last interview for this morning. Coming up next is a week in retrospect. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.